You are listening. You are listening to the Apex1 News Magazine, and still in art and culture. 15 days after the gruesome killing of George Floyd in what became one of the most dramatic police versus civilians debacle, Mike Smoove released a single dedicated to the incident. I Can't Breathe, which has been in the headlines since June of 2020, condemns police brutality on blacks. Its video displays scenes of Black Lives Matter protests, most of which took place in the summer of 2020. Now, apart from that, Mike Smoove has made other beautiful songs. On Apex1 News Magazine today, the artist talks about his music and what lies ahead in his career. He now joins us from Minnesota. Mike, welcome to the program as you unmute yourself.
Hey, how's it doing? How's it going? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Great. So tell us, what has been the reaction from the audience to I Can't Breathe? What are people telling you about this track?
Well, the initial response and reaction to that song I think it's been what every artist wants. Music is art, and I think what artists want is for people to have an emotional reaction and to provoke some sort of thought in their head. And that was the purpose of it, being here in the streets of Minneapolis, seeing what was going on in the midst of all the commotion, from everything from protests to, looting or whatever it was going on here. The reaction when people saw that song, it was a lot of emotion. I've seen everything from, compliments to people telling me that it made them cry. People telling me it was a strong piece of history, and you get the latter side also. We got people who do the political responses, who wanted to make political statements. So it provoked a lot of conversation, and that was great. And I think for me as an artist, one of the best reactions that I like is really just when somebody's kind of in silence and you can see them taking it in, because it provokes a lot of thought.
Right. Tell us about the recording of this song. Where was that, and in which studio?
It was at a friend of mine's studio, Dynamite Studios here in Brooklyn Park. We were in the basement. I was with my friend High Def, and we were getting some footage for some video show on Hulu, and a friend of mine doing a documentary. And in the midst of that, we're looking around and we're seeing buildings on fire, people protesting, and we're realizing that this is a piece of history. And you're looking at stuff and you're seeing, like, this looks like a Hollywood movie. And we're looking around and we're like, this is crazy. It looks like a movie. And then people are riding around playing certain music, and we realized that there wasn't any real honest music. It was either, they're playing an NWA track after the police and a lot of hatred music. And I think that what I felt was missing was an honest track where people could say how they were really feeling. And so standing amidst that, I went home and wrote the track and went to my friend's house, recorded it, and sent it to my friend Gabe in Atlanta to mix and master it.
Tell us about the message you intend to vehicle across this song, and who is your target?
The target was, I really think the target was the government at the moment. The government, on whatever level it was, whether it was law enforcement, whether it's the attorneys, the prosecutors, judges, lawmakers, politicians. Just anybody who's in a position of power. I think the song was really about hearing the people and saying, it said, you heard a man say, "I can't breathe." It's about saying you have to hear the people. And the reason why you're having this problem, I was trying to give them a song where they could say, hey, listen, this is what the people are saying. It's not just anger, it's hurt. They talked to you and you didn't listen. The man said, "I couldn't breathe," and you didn't hear what they were saying. So now the people were asking for change and you didn't hear what they were saying. And they tried to ask you and they tried to express themselves, but you weren't listening. So I wanted to address the patterns of police abuse and the tension between the people and the authorities. I also wanted to send the message that, the uniform doesn't change humanity. And, there's militarized police, but when you get off work, you're still human. So I just really wanted to pull that out and so they could understand that, just because they do something in a uniform, I think Minneapolis really shows literally that can come to your front doorstep. I said in there, you killed a man's son and now they're at your house. And in the video, literally right when I say that line, we have a shot going down the police line of the police standing outside outside Officer Chauvin's house, the guy who's on trial right now, and the people, and you could feel the tension. And I wanted to say, hey, listen, this can end up here, so do the right thing. And there's a broken trust between the people and law enforcement, and the way you treat people can come back to you. We understand that police have a split second to make a decision, and we have forever to judge that. But when you take that responsibility and you have that training and you know what your job and what your position is, then you have a responsibility, and that's what the song was about.
What has been the reaction of the audience to this song? What are people telling you about it?
To that song, the reaction it's been a lot of conversation. I think it's different. I heard from other artists and DJs, a lot of people kind of did the "I Can't Breathe" thing, and that wasn't my intention to do that. It was, I'm in the mix of it, and you hear people chant. You're in the mix. So when you're in what I was just trying to create a song that gave a voice to the people, and the reaction has been a lot of there's been a lot of great support. In the comments and the videos, people like to argue back and forth. The political left wing, right wing, whatever. I don't get into any of that stuff, but the reaction's been really positive. It's been really heartfelt, which is great.
Now, you seem to be an artist who, is very keen with what is happening in his environment, and, he makes his art accordingly. You describe Another Day, one of your tracks, as quarantine song. That tells me you released it during the lockdown days. And tell us about this track.
Oh, so the track Another Day, we nicknamed it the Quarantine Song. We called it Another Day, and everybody, when I said, did you hear that song? They said, oh, the Quarantine Song? So I nicknamed it the Quarantine Song. Right. We released that song. In that video with me is the producer, Major 88 Keys, out of St. Louis, and he's got platinum plaques, and he came here to Minnesota and made the song for me in the studio, and I wrote it. And in that time, this was like, I wrote that maybe in April. And the COVID quarantine stuff was at its peak in March and April. Because when I remember we were recording it, people were like, why are you guys together? You shouldn't be around each other. And we were in there recording. I really was talking about people's everyday thoughts, that's why it's called Another Day. Like, life's just another day. You've seen a lot of people going into depression because they were sitting in their houses in solitude. And I said in the song, hey, I'm alone all the time. This ain't nothing to me. There's a lot of struggles and things that people face every day, and I just wanted to let people know that, hey, you're not alone. Other people go through these struggles, regardless of the issues that we're going through. It's just another day. We have to deal with the outcome, and people deal with everything from damaged relationships to trying to put food on the table, to being a parent, to everyday life and frustration, depression, mental issues, all that stuff. And regardless, it's just another day, and we got to keep going. You wake up and you go again, man.
Right. How long has Mike Smoove been in music?
I've been in music probably 10 to 15 years, but I've been really behind the scenes. I haven't been the guy that wants all the attention. The attention kind of turned me off, and I actually left, walking away from a lot of opportunities because I didn't want the attention. I was a behind the scenes guy. I wrote for other people and helped help out with management and artist development and a lot of writing and concepts and that sort of thing. But because of some of the things that I've seen in the industry, I'm also a single father, and I own a construction company for 11 years here in Minnesota. So that took priority to me. So I put the music on the back burner, but it seems to just keep coming out. So recently, actually, the Another Day was the first song that I released on my birthday last year. And the music just keeps coming out. And I guess it's like art, just like you could be a painter. You can release 10 paintings, or you can release one painting in a year. But as long as you're still producing art, and if it's in you, it's in you. And sometimes you just got to let it out.
So how many albums do you have, or singles?
I think I don't have a complete album out myself. Like I said, I did a lot of features on other people's track and behind the scenes stuff. As far as mine recently, since last year, I have about 5 to 7 that are out, and I have a bunch that are ready, and it's just, I'll wait for the right time to release them.
Mike Smoove is an urban artist based in Minnesota. He's live on the Apex1 News magazine. So, who are some of the artists you've worked with so far, and who are some you would like to collaborate with eventually?
Lately, because of how busy my life's been, I've just been working with people that I'm around a lot right now. Like I have a buddy Gabe out of Atlanta. He's a great singer. He does kind of R&B and pop, and he's topped a lot of charts. We have a song out right now called. His name is Gabe. We have a song out right now called Love Overdose. Love Overdose actually hit number 2 on the iTunes charts in Italy. I Can't Breathe hit number 9 in the UK. On iTunes charts as well. We've collaborated with. I got another friend and great artist named Sirocco. We've been working with. I have a remix right now with my buddy High Def, who's actually the guy who shoots all my videos. He's a great artist in his as a video and as the in front of the camera also with artists. And I have some other things lined up, and who I'd like to work with. I don't know. I like to work with anybody who's creative. I like to do non-traditional stuff. I like to I like to mix it. I like to mix it up. I don't want to do all the same lane, all the same kind of music. I just want to work with different people. If I haven't done an R&B male, I would do R&B male, R&B female. I work with rock, country. I don't care. I just want to express different variations of music. That's what I'm interested in.
Any challenges so far in your career?
My biggest challenge is really just I think the challenge that we all face in life, which is balancing. It's about life is a balancing act, whether it's balancing work, relationships, in home, out home. Everybody has you have your main job, and then you have something you do on the side, and you have a hobby. And I think from the artist perspective, the hard part is most artists are broke because they either have to choose art or work. And I think that's the balance that everybody chooses. I'm doing pretty well in my actual work that I have, and then I fill in the blank spaces with the music. So the challenge is the balance, and then having the supplement of income justify the time. So that's another challenge people face, including me.
Mike Smoove is an urban artist based in Minnesota. Mike, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. And if you're it's at Mike Smoove and Mike Smoove is spelled MikeSmoove music at Mike Smoove music on Instagram, Facebook, IG, and you can find me on YouTube as well. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike, and bye.
Bye bye.